Hi guys, Lisa from Lixx Media here, and today I have with me Marc from Acid Rain, m-pire of Evil and m-pire. So Marc, every musician has that one person that ignites a spark and makes them want to play. So who was that for you?
For me, it was Bill Ward from Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Hearing Symptom of the Universe totally blew me away, and from then I just wanted to learn drums, and that's exactly what I did.
And so were you self-taught or did you get a teacher?
I was more self-taught. I did have a teacher at school for a couple of lessons, but he didn't really teach me anything new because I joined a class who had been taught by him for a few years.
Yeah.
So they knew all the theory, like how to read music and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't know how to do that. So basically what he would do is he would play something and I would play it back. So I didn't manage to learn how to read until much later on.
Yeah.
Probably about 3 or 4 years ago now. I learned how to read. But I used to practice in my grandma's garage when I was a kid.
I bet that was a bit loud.
Yeah, it was,
Did the neighbours hate you?
Few complaints from the neighbours, not going to lie. Didn't really last very long, so I had to find somewhere to actually, be able to make as much noise as I do. So, yeah, I used to practice in my grandma's garage, playing along to, like Metallica, Lars Ulrich, a big influence of mine. Dave Lombardo from Slayer. Ginger Baker from Cream, but I would say Bill Ward's definitely the one who ignited the spark.
Yeah, and you teach as well now, so do you teach for an organisation, do you teach at a uni, or do you do privately?
I'm self-employed. My company's called Stick to Your Drums. I used to teach at Yamaha Music School, but then I just kind of moved on and just created my own business, teaching kids and adults. So. Yeah. So
given that you're in quite a few successful bands now, if you were to give one piece of advice to a young musician, whether it's somebody at college or even university, what would it be?
I would say if you really believe that you can go far in the music industry, then just go for it. But also, my biggest advice would be create the opportunities for yourself. Don't close yourself down. If you know people out there in the music world, then speak to them and put yourself out there. Really make yourself known. Don't just close yourself down and not approach these people. For example,
for fear of them saying no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just believe in yourself is the big one. For example, I played in a tribute band called Sabbatica, which was a Black Sabbath tribute band, and Mandis from Venom, he was a stage manager at this event called Classic Rock Legends, which Sabbatica played, and I found out that Mandis was going to be there, so I approached him and spoke to him. I just said, if you ever need a drummer, I would be well up for it. Yeah. And that, 2 years after that, it happened. Yeah. And that's how it kind of took off from there,
Yeah. So let's talk about your bands now. So, what do you have coming up? Do you have any tours, any studio time coming up?
Well, I've just came out of the studio recording the Acid Rain album. Yeah. It will be the first one in 24 years, I think. So it's quite exciting. Yeah. A lot of pressure, but I'm confident about it, sounding really cool. That was done at North Stone Studio in Wales with Jace Lewis. Yeah. So right now we're currently in the process of the album being mixed. So that should be out hopefully the middle of next year. Yeah. Also, I've been in the studio recording the first EP for my band m-pire, which is sounding really cool. So again, that's being mixed. That should be out February, March next year. Yeah. And we have an album launch at Trillions in Newcastle on the 30th of March. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I imagine you'll be doing quite a few tours next year as well for all these releases.
Yes, that's the plan. I mean, with m-pire, we're playing Amplified Festival, and m-pire haven't really been going that long. So basically what I've been doing is just kind of chucking the demos for the new album at promoters and stuff like that. It's getting quite a bit of interest, so we'll be kind of going outside of Newcastle rather than just playing Newcastle. So all good, and awesome. As soon as the Acid Rain album's out, then we'll be touring, because a lot of people asking us when we're going out on tour again. And we just need to get the album out and done, and then we'll be out again.
Awesome. Now, I recently watched an interview with you and the singer for Acid Rain, and you guys are talking about how now you sell tickets through your website as opposed to using, Ticketmaster, because quite frankly, the fees are getting ridiculous now. I mean, I made and started doing email tickets, and essentially that was supposed to stop people from buying bulk tickets and then selling them for a lot of money later on, which is great, but then you get charged postage and packaging on an email. And so, you guys are doing that all yourselves now. And so, what's your opinion on the fees? Obviously, it must stop people from coming to gigs if they see the extra fee.
Yeah, of course, because you see the ticket price, and then you see the fees on top of that, like printing fees and all that kind of stuff, which is a bit of a joke, to be honest, but it is what it is. I don't really know the solution around it, to be honest.
Because, I mean, you can have, tickets at the arena and they're like 50 quid, but then by the time you add on the fees, it's more like 60 to 70 quid, and so
people are put off by that. Absolutely. Well, I would like to say, you mentioned that it was me and Howard speaking at the Bloodstock interview. It's mostly Howard.
I saw that. You were like, I'll hold the microphone for him.
He talks a lot.
I gathered that. I thought it might be good to have an interview with him at some point. I don't think he would shut up, but I think he would probably do something like have a drink and spit in our beer. What the fuck are you doing? Right. So now I've got some fun questions for you. I did this with Mickey Crystal, and I called it a lightning round. Thinking that it was going to be quick response, but we ended up getting off topic and talking about that stuff for quite a long time. So we'll just call it fun question time until I can come up with a better name for it. So, favourite film?
Saving Private Ryan.
Favourite actor?
Oh man, now you're asking me. Does it have to be an actor, or can it be an actor in a certain film?
Yeah, it can be anything you want.
Heath Ledger is the Joker.
Right, first band you ever saw live?
First band?
Yeah.
Oh man, do I really have to admit this?
Yeah,
go on. The Kerry Glitter Band.
Who's who?
The Kerry Glitter Band. I'm not even joking.
Right. Swiftly moving on. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Yeah? Dog person? Right. If you could live in any other country, what country would it be?
It would be a toss-up between Japan or America and Texas, because Texas is just insane.
That's quite different, actually, because Japan's far different to Texas. So yeah, I wasn't expecting that answer at all, actually.
Yeah, you've got really calm, mental.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So right, what is your biggest fear?
God, this is gonna have to be cut because I'm gonna have to think about this. I have no idea.
That question.
Biggest fear. What's your biggest fear?
Anal.
My biggest fear. Probably falling off a horse and being paralysed.
Okay. Actually, I've got one. Actually, I saw a program, and it was about aeroplane disasters.
Yeah.
And there was one where the roof got completely taken off.
Right.
And people got sucked out of the aeroplane.
All right.
So I think that would be one of the biggest fears.
Yeah, a bit disastrous.
I don't think anyone would particularly like that.
Right. Now the next one, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but most embarrassing moment. And this could be on tour, it could be, you know, on stage or even in the studio.
Oh, it's got to be when I was playing with Sabatica years ago. I had, well, it was either food poisoning or I was hungover, one of the two.
I already know where this is going.
Yeah. So I was playing through, I think it was Crazy Train.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the song, well, I was kind of playing at the right speed first, and then I just gradually started playing slower and slower. And the singer was looking at us, and he was like, "Oh dear, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah, like what the fuck are you doing?
And I just projectile vomited.
Oh, right, that wasn't what I expected.
The whole crowd went silent, and there was one person in the crowd who laughed. You know, like that guy, that kid off The Simpsons? Ha ha! Like that, yeah. So I was just vomiting and vomiting and vomiting.
Yeah, I was expecting it to come out the other end, to be honest.
Oh, right, no. What, you mean like shit myself? I mean, that would be
I've
more
heard of a
embarrassing.
few drummers
yeah.
doing that, so that's what I was expecting.
Oh, right, okay. Or spontaneously combusting.
Yeah. Right. So, highlight of your career.
Bloodstock, performing at Bloodstock, headlining the Sophie Lancaster stage.
Yeah.
That was just, it was as if it didn't happen. It was just a moment. Mm-hmm. The whole thing, it was just like, am I really playing here in front of this many people? Because we broke the record for the biggest crowd in that tent, and the tent was 50% bigger than it ever was.
Yeah.
And we had the second most crowd surfers in the whole festival. Gojira were first. Because security actually click each of the every person who
crowd surfs.
Crowd surfs, that's it, yeah. Mind blank.
So unfortunately, that is all we have time for today.
Oh man!
But maybe we'll have you on again at some point.
Yeah, cool.
So, yeah. Yeah, and so you teach drums now as well. So
Yes.
do you go through an organisation? Do you teach at a uni, or do you just do privately?
I used to teach for Yamaha Music School. I'll say that again, and you can edit that.
Right, I'll have to like. I'll ask the question. Right, are we composed?
Yes.
Right. Sneep.
I can't. I'm not going to see Yamaha now. Like.
Right. Okay. Right. And you're a teacher yourself now, so do you know? For fuck's sake.
Take 3.
Sneep. Right. Okay. Let's.
Andy. Sleep.
What do you mean?
She doesn't know how to speak.
Right. Right. Calm myself.
Because you were talking about it, and I'm like, please say something, please.
Alright, okay. I thought you were just like thinking of something.
Andy, sleep. Again, I'm going to have to think about this. What was your most embarrassing moment?
Mine, on the stage, I snapped the guitar string. Had to go off and quickly change it. Upon entering the stage again, cracked my head off the roof. Tripped over a step and slid onto the stage on my knees.
I can't repeat that.
Then continued playing.
Oh, I've got one. I've got it. Ask it again.
Right, okay. Start that again because I wasn't sure how to end it.
Do it all again. The whole interview was shit.
Didn't even focus, it was just a smush of face.